Tanzania, Ghana, Alaska, Arizona, Nevada, Honduras, El Salvador, Guatemala, Colombia. We have gold mines everywhere. And guess what? These gold miners are excited to be working with us. You are going to see some announcements, and I'm not going to make any promises. I'm not going to say the names. You're going to see some announcements here in the next few months coming from Element with working with world leaders. We have presidents of countries that want to work with us. We have a track record. Just to go over a few things, our company has no debt. Even though we're not affiliated with Gala, we're separate companies. We feel like we have a launch pattern to follow. Not only did we, fork their blockchain technology, but we've got the same owner. We've got no debt. We've got a blueprint on how to do this. We've got a stellar team. And so all the things that you want to check on are these guys legitimate? Is there longevity? There has been so much time, energy, thought, strategy, money put into what we're doing, because we're not trying to do small things. We're trying to do big things.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to RNG Crypto. It's your boy here with you for another video, guys. In this video, we're doing an interview of Element. Element is one of the many blockchain projects that are going to launch in the Connect United ecosystem. They are focusing on digitizing gold assets. So it's really big use case in the future, guys. And this interview will show you all the details and tell you a little bit about what their plans are and what they have lined up coming up in the future. And guys, a partnership with Gala Games is on the table as well, which is huge, not to mention the billions of dollars of in-ground assets that they currently already have possession of, because they own several gold mines around the world. With that said, guys, I want to also make sure that you guys are aware of what Connect United is. Check out my other videos, but basically it is an ecosystem of different real case or real use case projects across the world that are going to be launching very soon here. Most of these are in pre-launch. The only one that's out right now is Green, which is really focusing on subsidizing your energy bills and being able to get energy credits, and then using those credits for either to trade for or do some kind of subsidized payment on your energy bill, guys. So Element, their nodes are the lowest nodes that you can get in terms of price points. For a full smart node, $2,500, guys. If you recall what Gala Games nodes did, they started at $1,000. Now they're going at $96,000. This has a similar future, and again, they are working on partnering with them. If you are interested, check out my referral code down in the description. Come in here and get signed up and just dip your toe. You don't have to go for a full node. You can go for just a Blockbot, which is basically a fractionized node, guys. With that said, guys, let's get into this interview. I hope you enjoy it. Take it easy. Talk to you in the next one.
I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here with you guys, and I'll just jump right into what we're going to be talking about today. And so we are called Element, and our company is a blockchain company. Element is a new company. We've been around for about a year, and we are going to change the world. I know a lot of people say that. I don't say that lightly, but after this presentation, and I'll try to be brief because I know you have some questions, and I'll go through some of the information pretty quick, but Element is going to change the world. And just a quick disclaimer before we get started, this presentation, it may contain forward-looking statements. You guys can read through this. Basically what this thing says is you're not going to be a billionaire tomorrow, okay? And we're not a security, we're not a registered security, we don't do anything crazy. The rewards are not available for purchase. What we're going to talk about today is the mining aspect. Why owning a node is better than just going out there and buying a coin. And we're going to talk about the right way and the wrong way to get into crypto, especially if you're new to it. Some of you people already know what nodes are. There's a lot of buzz right now about what a node is. And just basically for our purposes, a node is a software download that plugs in your computer into a blockchain network, and you get a reward for running the node. Pretty simple. So if I was running a node on Bitcoin, I'd run it on my computer. I would get rewarded with a Bitcoin or a fraction of a Bitcoin. So everybody on here, we're not a security. You're not going to become a millionaire tomorrow. As long as everybody's cool with that. If I can get a yes or a thumbs up in the chat, that everybody knows that we're not making any outlandish practices. If anybody's out there telling you about get rich quick and how you can change your fortune overnight with Bitcoin or with crypto, get off their webinar, leave them. They're a scam. Everything in life that's worth something has to be worked for. Now, there is this great convergence between opportunity and the right timing. That's where I feel like we are. I was a headhunter 22 years ago in the .com area, finding people for all these incredible companies. And I saw about 85 to 90% of all those companies go under. So just because you have a good idea and just because the timing is right, doesn't mean you're going to have success. In the node and crypto space, the most critical thing for you to do is to ask yourselves these questions. Is there utility for this company? Do you solve problems? Is there a market for it? Is this a good idea? So these types of questions you got to ask yourself, because if you're on this call, you've probably heard about crypto, you've probably heard about nodes, and you've been recruited or pitched a lot. And be very, very careful. Look for companies that have a track record. Look for companies that have good management, that have a good idea, and most importantly, look for companies that solve problems. So my name is Scott Lomu. I've spent the last 25 years in business, doing everything and everything. I'm going to talk about a couple of those things that's led me here today. But when I say anything and everything, it's really funny because everything that I have done has led me here. Every experience that I've had in my career over the past 20 to 25 years has led me here. I'm going to talk about a couple of those things very briefly about who I am, why I'm here, and why just this convergence has happened and everything has come together. We got a couple other partners with us who are on the call today. Our COO, David Casteller, who has run multiple huge companies, had exits from these companies. He's been the president of companies. He's had hundreds and hundreds of employees. I met David 12 years ago. I was actually looking for funding for one of my gold mines, and he rejected me. But David has repented. We've become we're back on the same page, and I made him the COO because he's a smart guy and he was doing gold brokering deals, and it was just a perfect match. We got a brand ambassador. Some of you guys know this guy, Todd Hoffman from Discovery Channel. He is we're in negotiations with Todd. He wants to be pretty involved, but he's filming his TV show right now up in Alaska. That's why he can't join us today. But Todd absolutely loves what we're doing in the gold and element space, and because he wants to solve some problems too. We've got our NFT director who may join us today, Gabe Thane, smart guy, owned multiple businesses. He's an NFT pro, and we're happy to have him on today. We've got a Philippines office run by Chris Williams, our international marketing director. Listen, I wanted to throw Chris a bone. We put in a picture of him when he used to lift weights. He still lifts weights, but we figured, look, if we're going to be introducing ourselves to a lot of people, let's find the one where we had some muscle. So the blockchain is here to stay, guys. I hope everybody understands this. If you don't know a lot about blockchain, study it. Take the advice that I didn't 9 years ago and study blockchain and its uses and how it's literally going to change the world. And honestly, it is something that there are certain technologies that come along, like when the internet came along, it was a game changer. It changed everything. Blockchain is that. Just do a very simple Google search about blockchain and about what it's doing out there in the world today, and you'll find article after article. Countries, businesses are all getting into blockchain and realizing that the blockchain is literally going to change everything that we do in business. It's going to change the world. The whole Web3 internet is being built upon the blockchain. And so it is time for everyone on this call to understand what the blockchain is. I am going to go into the most basic description of the blockchain. We'll save that for another time because we're here to talk about an opportunity. And I know I value your time, and we'll jump off this as quickly as we can, but not before we've introduced you to a concept that I think is revolutionary, that we believe is going to change the world. And the reason why is because blockchain solves problems. There's this really cool thing with blockchain that problems have existed out in the world in every industry. Every single industry has had these issues. There are so many problems that exist in the world, in developing countries and first world countries, within businesses. And blockchain has this unique utility. It has this unique incentive that it can now encourage people and incentivize people to join the blockchain, because now there's this incentive where a coin is issued or a reward is issued. And so now people are thinking, so this blockchain that I can join, that I can plug my computer into, I can be rewarded for joining that. Now, this is interesting, right? You look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin was designed to create this new currency, this new decentralized platform. People who mined it were rewarded, or people who gave their computers access to this blockchain, this Bitcoin blockchain, were rewarded with a Bitcoin. And now everybody's trying to replicate that. Everybody's going, okay, blockchain technology is legitimate. It's here to stay. And how do I get involved? Really quick background on us, okay? Our founder was one of these early adopters. I met him 22 years ago. We had a cell phone company together. He did multiple other companies. And he was one of those guys, you knew he would be, that discovered Bitcoin, and he got in early. And when he went in big. He had warehouses full of machines and developed these shipping containers that would run off solar power. And he did all these amazing things and mined a lot of Bitcoin and did extremely well. I'm not going to divulge. I'm not going to talk about another man's money, but there's a lot of zeros behind the money that he made in Bitcoin. And Bitcoin is great. He loved it. He loved the whole mining process. He loved everything about it, but he did see some problems with it. It got expensive. The technology wore out quickly. You had to have a lot of money. You know, if you look at Bitcoin was this way to kind of decentralized thing and let everybody participate, and all of a sudden only the few could participate because you needed to have hundreds of thousands of dollars and, you know, some of the power bills to run some of these, you know, server farms and these Bitcoin mining machines were costing, you know, 6 figures a month, even though it was a great concept. And so he kind of put his head together and he said, listen, there's got to be a better way to do this. And so he created his own blockchain platform. He said, listen, I understand, you know, that the hardware and, you know, we're so connected to the software. You had to buy this equipment and send it over from China. By the time it got delivered, it was outdated, and mining Bitcoin became hard and that used a lot of energy. So what our founder did was started fresh, brand new, put a lot of money into his own blockchain technology. And he started a company called Green. Green essentially is a way to turn energy into currency. It's a phenomenal company. A lot of people, thousands and thousands of people have bought nodes and have been running Green, and Green is absolutely phenomenal. But he did make one small mistake. One of the mistakes was he started another one because he said, look, I've got this incredible technology that works. Blockchain is going to change everything. So he started another company. He originally called it Arcade. And then he partnered up with a guy who some of you might have heard of, a guy named Eric Schiermeyer. He used to run a company called Zynga, and that company made games like Farmville. So those two got together, changed the name to Gala. And so the founder of Element is also the founder of Gala Games, and Gala Games took off, became a top 50 coin on Coinbase, just absolutely went nuts or went to the moon, as they say. And so Green kind of got put on the back burner, but Green is preparing for a massive relaunch, and because it's a phenomenal concept. Energy, everybody out there in the world right now is looking for ways to conserve energy. So that's where our genesis is. We're not related to Gala in any way. We're not related to Green in any way. The only common thread between Gala and Green and all these other companies is we had the same founder, the same guy, the same visionary person. And this is just a little screen here showing what it cost for a node. A Gala node used to be like $1,000 or $2,000, and now a Gala node will cost you about 105,000 USD because the price of nodes always goes up. So it's a pretty interesting concept the way these nodes work. But remember, blockchain solves problems. And so based on the fact that we've hit on this technology that is revolutionary, that's going to change the world, we naturally start looking at, all right, what are the problems out there that blockchain can solve? How can this decentralized network, this peer-to-peer network with a whole bunch of people who have their own computer, who are sharing data, who are basically part of the blockchain, how can that be used to solve problems? And the biggest thing for me is that blockchain creates an incentive to solve problems. A lot of problems have always existed. However, until people looked at this and said, wait, if I join this blockchain that can solve problems, I get a reward for it. See, now we're kind of hacking human behavior. The blockchain allows people to join their network, but to get rewarded for joining that network. And what an amazing concept. And so that's why I think there's so much change happening with blockchain technology because now everybody wants to get involved. Everybody wants to help solve problems. Why? Well, selfishly, because there's something in it for them. We like to think that people want to just get in there and solve problems. We like to think that we make solving problems easier. And the blockchain allows us to give easy access to people to solve problems and also to be rewarded with something for that. And we call it a reward. Others call it a token or a coin, but we call ours a reward. Some of the problems that we have come up with, so our visionary leader and all of us, we've kind of put our heads together and we've said, there are a lot of freaking problems that blockchain can solve. So we've created a whole bunch of companies around it. Galvin is healthcare, Liberty is vets helping vets, Green is energy, Switch is finance, Give is charity. And there's about 6 more that I haven't even listed on here, because even though we are connected in some ways to these companies, we share kind of the same core blockchain technology, we have the same founder, we're very different. We all have our own companies, our own C-level executives, and our own experiences. And our experiences are what make this very unique. For example, with Switch, the lady that runs Switch used to be the president of Discover Bank. Liberty, those guys are all vets. They were the founders and the CEO of that military contracting firm, Blackwater, and they employ a lot of former special forces. And Galvin's run by a doctor out of California who solved problems in healthcare. So remember, the punchline of this, blockchain solves problems. So again, running a node is very simple. The basic explanation is this. If you are a node owner, that just means you've downloaded a software program that allows you to get plugged into a blockchain network. So every one of the people in this little graph here is running a node on their computer. And the function of the blockchain, which is all of these different networks in this computer, validating, verifying transactions, storing data, you are part of the blockchain. For being part of the blockchain, you get rewarded for that. So nodes earn rewards. That's really the most important thing to understand here about your node. By running a node, you get rewarded for it. So let's get down to business, okay? So if I'm running a node and I get rewarded for it, I think back to, okay, what are some of the biggest problems that exist out there? Now, there's hunger, there's clean water. We address all those. We have blockchain technologies that are working on solving some of the biggest problems on Earth. But sometimes you don't really understand it's a problem until you've had firsthand experience with it. And so this is just a basic representation of how the blockchain works. If you want to take a screenshot or go look up this, just go Google, images of blockchain, and this will show you how it works. My time is short today, so I'm not going to go into that. But Element has found another huge problem. Gold and other precious elements. I don't think anybody out there understands, unless you go watch a movie like Blood Diamond or you've been in some of the areas where gold and diamonds are mined. I don't think people really truly understand the problems in the mining industry. They're shocking. If you guys go Google, some of the dark side or the dirty side of mining, you will find there's people that actually have written a couple books about it. You'll find corruption. You'll find environmental just savagery. You'll find communities that have been exploited. You'll find every problem that exists. People talk about gold fever and how gold kind of does weird things to people. That is a fact. So does diamonds, and so do other precious elements. There's this weird thing out there to where people will do almost anything to obtain gold and to get their hands on it. And the most tragic part of that is that they do so often at the expense of other people. And so we look at some of these problems and we say, how can blockchain solve these problems? And so here are some of the problems. Number one, the elements are controlled by the few. I always ask people the question, how much access to gold do you have? Rather than driving down to a jewelry store to buy it, how much access to the in-ground asset do you have? Most people have none because it's controlled by Newmont and Barrick and countries like China and Russia, even the United States. Very few people have access to actually pulling the gold out of the ground. And when they do so, the environment and the community exploitation will shock you. I've witnessed this firsthand, and I'm going to show you exactly how I know from very personal experience how these problems exist. This is a picture in Ghana. I spent 5 years in Ghana. This is a river. And the top part of the screen there, where you see those two tiny people kind of up in the center, that's the original river. And all along the rivers is where most of the gold is, because they do something called placer or alluvial mining. And so the gold just happens to be right next to the river. And this is what it looks like when you mine in Ghana. This is what it looks like when you mine in the Amazon. This is a picture from Guyana, where I also used to mine. And this is literally a gold field. You have to tear down everything. You rip everything out. You go dig down 3 to 12 feet, pull up all the gravel, get all the gold out, and just throw all the dirt back on. This is what the majority of all the gold areas in the Amazon and in West Africa and South Africa and all over Central America, this is what it looks like. There is no reclamation. They just leave it like this. And the communities are left to suffer, and the environment is destroyed. There's a lot of corruption. When I worked in Ghana, 25,000 illegal Chinese miners were there. How did they get there? They didn't sneak across the border. They came in on an airplane and walked right through customs. So the corruption happening between countries, it comes at the expense of the people and of the communities, especially these marginalized communities who live in these gold-rich areas. The corruption is tragic, and it's because there are politicians out there who would rather make money than control their own resources. So there are some crazy, scary things happening right now, especially with countries like China. China owns so much gold, it'll make your head spin. There's article after article about China exploiting the world so that they can hoard gold. Okay, the exploitation of the people and of the environment is bad enough, but go study why they're doing it. Go find these articles. The truth about China's massive gold hoard and why they are hoarding gold. They're not doing it because, oh, gold's going to go up in value. They're doing it in preparation for a new monetary order. So gold in the wrong hands is scary. It is a scary thing. Think about the geopolitical effects that are going to happen when all these bad actors on the world stage, Russia, China, when they own all the gold. But gold has power, and they've been smart. We here in the United States have just been printing money like it's going out of business. Now we have inflation. Now we have a lot of debt, while other countries have been ravaging the earth and communities so that they can hoard gold. And they hoard gold for power. And you're going to see, the funny thing about Element is that everything that we're doing and all the problems we're trying to solve are front page news everywhere in the world, right? Gold is becoming more valuable. Countries are becoming more powerful because of the gold hoarding that they're doing. And they're doing most of the gold hoarding at the expense of these marginalized communities. So gold, there's, again, so many of these problems. Okay, here's one quick example and I'll move on. Everybody knows that oil has to be traded in the US dollar, right? We're the world's reserve currency. Well, because of the crud that's happening here in the United States and the savvy gold hoarding that China's been doing, Saudi Arabia is actually considering selling oil using the yuan. That's going to start World War III. So I only bring these things up to prove a point. The things happening behind the scenes in the gold world are shocking. Not only the exploitation, not only the corruption, but the balance of power that's changing. We want China and Russia having all this power because they have been hoarding gold, and they're hoarding it at the expense of the world. So I hope I've painted a very quick picture of some of the problems that exist, okay? Now, how do I know about these problems? I was on Discovery Channel. I was a little bit younger, a little skinnier, my Western diet that I've been eating here back in the United States. I was a little bit tanner back then, but I had a TV show on Discovery Channel called Jungle Gold. My partner and I, after the real estate crash, went out to go to Ghana to try to solve some problems. We were out there trying to solve our own problems. And then we realized the shocking nature of what's happening in the gold world. And so I'm going to show you just a really quick, just indulge me for 2 minutes and 32 seconds to give you a firsthand visual of how I know about all these problems. All right, so
gold Friday.
Spent a little bit of time in Ghana, spent 5 years in Ghana mining gold and being part of the problem, to be quite honest with you. And, I was over there thinking I was solving my own problems, and I realized that the problems that exist there were much, much greater than our own. One of the tragic parts about being in Ghana is that when these gold miners, most of them illegal, come in and they offer to come out and mine in some of these villages, the villages welcome them with open arms. And it's look, it's a tragic thing because they come in, they tear down all their cocoa plants, they pollute the river, they use mercury. But if I'm a Ghanaian and somebody comes in to offer in gold mining and offers me a percentage of the gold, and it's going to, 10 times my income for the next year, I'm going to do it. So you can't blame them. It's something that's just a tragedy. And so when you look at the exploitation of these communities, it's being done. And it sounds harsh when I say, look, the people in the Amazon, the people in Ghana are complicit in it, but I would do the same thing. I'm a dad, I have 5 kids. And if I was in that position, I would probably choose to do the same thing. So when we look at that problem, we have to think about, how do we solve that problem? How do we put ourselves in a position to where we can help others by saving the environment, making sure that their villages and their cocoa plants aren't torn down, but still help benefit them financially. Now, that is the beauty of what we're trying to accomplish here with Element, because we can solve problems and be rewarded for it. And we do so by creating incentives for others to help us in that fight. So at Element, we believe that more people can generate more opportunity from companies that leverage pristine natural resources than from exploitive industries that extract them. Now, I'm going to read that again slowly and explain what that means, because this is what we do. We believe people can generate more opportunities from companies like Element that leverage pristine natural resources than from exploitive industries that extract them. What we're trying to say here is that if we leave the gold and leave all these other elements in the ground and create new economies around in-ground assets, we can help people that more than these exploiters, like these countries and some of these companies that are coming in, and make it more beneficial by keeping the gold in the ground. Now, that's something I had to wrap my mind around. When I was first approached this by our founder, it took me a while, because I'm a physical gold miner. When he pitched me this concept about 1.5 years ago, I said he was full of, you know what? I said, you can't do that. Gold has always been there. Gold's the standard bearer of value for all of human history. How now are you going to replace that value with something else? So, interesting concept. And we also believe that wealth or influence should not be generated or maintained at the expense of another. That's our core value, is that a lot of the gold that's being mined out there is being done so at the expense of other people. So we believe that no more exploitation, it's time for preservation. And that sounds kumbaya and Pollyannish, but I'm just figured it out. So let's get into this. Give me a thumbs up on the chat, raise your hand if you believe that you can earn rewards, if you like the fact that you can earn rewards by solving massive problems in the world. I hope everybody's hand is up. I hope everybody hits that thumbs up button in the chat, because the blockchain is revolutionizing the world, because we can reward people for solving problems. And this is a massive problem. I know most of you have probably never even considered where gold and diamonds come from, or who's paying the price for that, or what's happening like on the scary side of things when it comes to what's happening with gold hoarding. Why are people gold hoarding? Why what happens to the villages, when all this gold is being taken? I always challenge people to do this. Go to Google Maps or Google Earth, I apologize. Go to Google Earth and zoom in into Ghana, into around the Kumasi area. There's a big town called Kumasi. Go straight south of Kumasi to a town called Obuasi and look around the river. It looks like the surface of the moon. The environment is being destroyed. And how do these countries allow this to happen? It's because of greed and corruption, and it's coming at the expense of their people. So let's get to it, okay? I've been talking too much. Let's get right down to the nitty-gritty. How does blockchain solve these problems? Number one, we keep the gold and other elements in the ground. We will make sure that the gold doesn't leave the ground, because if it's not dug up and doesn't leave the ground, all the problems that we're talking about are solved. Now, we're not naive. We know you need to mine gold. Gold is in everything. Every computer that you're watching this, or every phone that you're watching this on, has gold. Most of you have something gold on your hand, even though this is wood. Not that anyway. I was gonna make a joke about having a wood wedding ring, but it was a gift from my wife when we went to Hawaii. But gold has utility. We use it. Economies need it. But first, we're going to keep the gold in the ground. And Element blockchain creates new economies around in-ground gold and other elements. Okay. Now, this is where we have to start making a shift in our mindset. We are going to create new economies. The old economy is I get gold out of the ground and I sell it and I get money for that, or I refine it and make jewelry. There's all kinds of businesses around gold. But since we're keeping the gold in the ground, we have to create new economies around in-ground gold and other assets. Now, how do we do that? So we replace the value of the in-ground elements with a digital replacement value. We live in a new world. We live in a digital world. We live in a world where the metaverse is taking over, to where now all physical things have their digital counterpart. You guys have heard of NFTs. Things, I mean, there are people right now who their whole life is wearing these little virtual reality things, and their whole life exists in this metaverse. It's really weird, but let's not go that far. But understand this: everything has its digital counterpart. We are introducing the elements of the earth into this new digital realm because we can create new economies around digital, something that replaces the value of the actual gold. Remember, we get the question every once in a while, okay, is the coin that I'm rewarded from my node backed by the gold in the ground? Well, the gold is always going to stay in the ground, so we can't back it by that, but we create new economies around the value of the digital coin, of the reward that you earn by running a node. So we do this through nodes, through NFTs, through gamification, and through our EVOL system that I'm going to go through really briefly here. So basically, you look at this graph here, you take physical gold, we're going to digitize it. When I say we're digitizing gold, we're creating a new representation of that gold in the ground. It's a digital representation for that gold in the ground. Okay. And I know that can be a little bit confusing. So does keeping the gold in the ground solve the problems with mining precious elements? We believe it does. So remember, here are the problems. The elements are controlled by the few. If we buy the gold mines or get the gold mines committed to Element, and we give many, many people access to that gold, we eliminate that problem. By keeping it in the ground, there's no more environmental or exploitation and harm. By keeping it in the ground, there's no more corruption. And by keeping it in the ground, the gold hoarding from the few and the powerful stops. Okay. So we believe that we can solve a lot of these problems through the Element node. So how does the blockchain solve these problems? First, we create a financial incentive for gold miners to stop mining. So if I were to walk up to a gold miner, let's just say I go to Ghana, and a lot of these, in Ghana, the gold mining, small scale mining can only be owned by Ghanaians. So I have to go negotiate with a Ghanaian. Now, if I'm a Chinese guy and I come up to someone who owns the claim and I say, hey, I'm going to give you X%, you just turn the gold mine over to me and I'm going to go out and mine. I'm going to say yes. I don't care that he's not going to reclaim. I don't care that he's going to dislocate villages. I don't care that he's going to pollute. So if I, as Element, go to this Ghanaian that owns these gold claims, and I offer an incentive for that claim owner to not mine, that's greater, potentially greater than the percentage of the gold that he would get, guess what he's going to do? He's not going to sell the gold mine to those people who are exploiting. They're going to commit the gold mines to Element. Now, do you think this is possible? Do you think there are Ghanaians out there that have control over these gold mines that would rather put it into the Element ecosystem? Hell yes. I've already got 19 gold mines committed in some of the hardest hit areas, in some of the most fragile areas where these gold mines are right along the river, because we're able to talk to these people and let them understand there's a better way. Keep the gold in the ground, and the incentive that you receive by owning nodes can exceed the amount that you would get in your gold revenue. So Second, we create a financial incentive for the Element community to participate in digital mining, meaning you guys. You guys, we need a broad network. We need tons of people running nodes, and we have to create an incentive for you to buy a node. We cannot do this by ourselves. We have to have a broad network, a ton of people. The broader our blockchain community, the better our company. The more transactions we can solve, the more rewards we can issue, the more problems we can solve. And so when you guys buy a node, what do you think happens to that money? When you buy nodes, we use a portion of that money to tie up these gold mines, to make sure that we can give an incentive to those people, instead of selling it to Chinese or selling it to all these other big, mining companies. We create an incentive for you. We want, when you guys buy a node, we use a percentage of that to go and tie up all these mines. So we have to create a financial incentive for the gold miners to stop gold mining. And sometimes that's we give them nodes. So we're working on a gold mine right now. And this one's actually in Arizona, stateside, because we're looking for gold mines all over. So any gold mine that we tie up, that we get committed to the Element blockchain, or that we buy, they will receive nodes. And these nodes are mining. And so we tell people, mine to stop mining. You're going to mine using the Element nodes so that we stop mining the actual gold that's coming out of the ground. And so I just think it's funny that blockchain uses all these mining terminology. And so you're going to keep mining. You're just going to do it the responsible way in this new economy that's going to give you rewards that could have incredible benefits for you. Of course, we don't make any promises on what the rewards or these coins will be worth, because we can't. We have no idea. But we believe if we are solving real world problems, we can, the community will see what we're doing and want to be involved. So we acquire gold mines. We buy gold mines or have the assets in the ground pledged to the Element blockchain. So if we own the gold mine, can these other people who are exploiting own them? No. We're going to go and get as many of these gold mines as possible. Okay. The owner of the mine is compensated with Element nodes, and sometimes a combination of cash and nodes. So you guys are buying nodes from us. You're buying nodes because you get a reward from that. But what you didn't know is that when you buy nodes, a part of that revenue goes to help us take gold off the market. We go and we create an incentive for the gold miners to not mine, to work with us instead. Now, if the mine owners start mining behind our back, we just turn their nodes off and they don't get the reward. So there are ways for us to safeguard against this. Now, the second part, once we obtain these mines, now keep in mind, we have mines that we're working on right now in Tanzania, Tanzania, Ghana, Alaska, Arizona, Nevada, Honduras, El Salvador, Guatemala, Colombia. We have gold mines everywhere. And guess what? These gold miners are excited to be working with us. You are going to see some announcements, and I'm not going to make any promises. I'm not going to say the names. You're going to see some announcements here in the next few months coming from Element, with working with world leaders. We have presidents of countries that want to work with us, because it's good for them. They want to say, hey, look, we're digitizing this gold. We're going to monetize it. We're going to keep the gold in the ground and make sure that our community isn't being exploited by outsiders. But they're doing that because there's an incentive for them to do that. Now, second step, we verify the in-ground asset. If we're going to digitize gold or create a new value for the in-ground asset, you have to know, number one, how much is in there, number two, where it's at. Okay. So we have partnered with a company out of Reno, Nevada, that's going to go in and scan all of our gold mines so that we know the approximate location of where the gold is. And I'm going to explain why that's important. It is very critical that we know how much gold we're digitizing and where the gold is. So verification is critical. So step number one, acquire. We have to get the gold mines. We're going to either buy them and own them outright as a blockchain, or we'll get the assets committed, pledged to the blockchain. Number two, verify the in-ground asset. And here's why that's important. So this is what's called, this little map here is a page out of a report called a 43-101. A 43-101 is simply a report on a gold mine that talks all about the gold mine. what kind of rock, what kind of rock it is, how deep is the gold, where exactly is the gold. So if you look at this little map here, all the red spots are the hot spots that say the probability of the gold being right here is high. This is where you want to go drill, because you don't want to go drill a 2,000-acre gold mine, and because those drill holes are expensive. So you first do a scan. And this scan tells me this is probably where the gold is. Okay. So like in the right there, section A, section H, D, E, that's probably where the gold is. And here's where it gets fun. This is why it's important to know where the gold is. Okay. So we create a digital version of gold and other in-ground elements in this metaverse. We create a digital version of it. So element goes out, we get a gold mine. We find out where the gold is on that gold mine. And then we create a digital version of that gold mine. And here's how that works. So the mining will still happen, but we're going to be mining in the metaverse or digitally so that the elements can stay in the ground. So I got to pause here. Remember, only a few people have access to gold mines. The rich, the powerful, big companies, big countries. We are changing that. When we obtain a gold mine, whether we get the assets pledged to us or whether we buy it outright, we're going to give access to the digital version of that gold to tens of thousands of people, to you guys as node holders, to a community that wants to mine digitally. And here's how we do that. So new values are created around the metaverse elements. First, NFTs. NFTs are confusing to people. Most people think that an NFT is just like a picture of a ape or something. You know, they're like, oh, here's my NFT of a monkey wearing glasses, and I paid $300 for it. Now it's worth $3 million. I don't know how the freak that works, but NFTs are all the rage. And so here's what we're going to do. Now we're going to NFT the gold mine. So go back. So the picture on the right, again, this is our report on where the gold is. So now look at the picture on the left. We took that same report and we divided that into hundreds and hundreds of different NFTs. We're going to NFT our gold mines, okay? And what that means is that you can go in and you can buy an NFT that is represented by an actual real gold mine. Now, some of you guys know that in the NFT world, some NFTs are really rare. Like if you had one of these monkey NFTs and he was wearing a pair of gold glasses, you know, they only made like 5 of those and it's awesome and it's worth a lot more. Our NFTs will work the exact same way because remember, we know where the gold is. So if you happen to buy an NFT that matched up with where section A is, that's a rare NFT that could be worth a lot more money. Every single gold mine that we buy is going to have an NFT project around it. If we do NFT projects in Ghana, the NFTs, you know, you still have your little images, but we'll do kind of a nod to the Ghanaian miners. It might be a picture of a Ghanaian worker, you know, digging in a mine. And so you'll still have your little avatar of your NFT, but your NFTs, the rarity of the NFT is based on the actual gold mine. Now, why is that important? Because it allows us to give an incentive for the gold miner to make a percentage of all the NFTs. It allows us to go in to these villages and say, hey, don't mine. And they'll say, why? I have kids to feed. We can potentially make you more off of not mining than when you mine. Here's how. We give a percentage of all the NFTs to the village. So as the NFT community buys these NFTs, you have these rarities. We hope they go up in value. And you can stake your NFTs to where you can earn element coins. There's a whole ecosystem on how the NFTs work. But we're contributing back to the gold miner so that he keeps his gold off the market and to the villagers that are being most affected by it. So these NFTs actually have value. They're actually doing something. They're allowing us to keep the gold in the ground and to create an incentive. So we know that the NFT will give an incentive to the gold miner and to the people in the village, but how does it help you? So we're creating a web app game where you can actually stake your NFT. So again, this grid you see here in the middle, that's our gold mine chopped up into hundreds and hundreds of different NFTs. Now we're creating an environment, a community where your NFT can actually have value. Your NFT can actually earn you element coins by staking it in our web app in this game that we're creating. And again, this is just a quick thing on how some of the NFTs will have a greater value based on their rarity. Some will have a smaller value. but each NFT is based on rarity, would have rewards that can be extracted. Each week you would get X number of rewards. Once we figure that out, the rewards can be extracted quicker for purchasing upgrades. New NFTs could be brought into a mining game to extract rewards. New mine NFTs could also be brought into an existing mining game. Basically, all this means, listen, and I'm going through this quick, but there's an incentive for you to own our NFTs as well. So we have to create an incentive for everybody involved. So your NFTs can go up in value and you can earn element coins by owning an NFT. So the gold miner wins, you win by owning an NFT, and the people who we're trying to help the most also get a percentage of all the revenue generated by the NFTs. And we do this from mine to mine to mine. So our NFT projects are perpetual. They go and go with each mine that we create. We're going to be creating an NFT project. So if we buy gold mine in Arizona, the NFT will look different. It'll maybe be like an old prospector, right? Harkening back to the old days of the old prospecting gold miners and creating value. But the whole point of an NFT is that we hope it goes up in value. We can't guarantee that, but you know how NFTs work, to where the rarity and the utility of the NFT will hopefully increase in value. Now, there are a lot of different directions that we're going to be going in the NFTs. We do a presentation on the NFTs that takes about an hour and a half, and I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to confuse you, because I have an NFT expert named Gabe Thane who's probably on this call, but for time's sakes, we'll just know that the NFT project is probably the most unique NFT project ever built, because it's attached to the actual location of real gold mines. Now, second, we're going to gamify gold mining. Now, we have a game that we're in the process of negotiating with. I showed you a picture earlier of Todd Hoffman from Gold Rush. He developed this game with a man named Cooper Dubois that owned a company called Double Down Casino. They were one of the first gaming companies on Facebook. They created this game and they got 1 million downloads on it. So we are in negotiations to buy this game. Now, go back to verifying the assets. The assets are being verified so that when you play a game, remember, this is where the gold exists in our assay. Now, if I create a game and I match up where the gold is with the game, and then you come in and you buy a certain piece of land, if it happens to match up with one of these areas that has high gold yield, you're going to earn a lot of element rewards. So I buy a gold mine from somebody, one guy that owns a gold mine. We gamify it, and now tens of thousands of people come in and they mine. We have just spread out the access. Now, rather than one guy getting rich off of pulling gold out of the ground and wrecking the environment, we create a digital game, allow tens of thousands of people to come in, and as they find the gold, they're verifying the location of gold, and that information gets uploaded into the blockchain. So we make verifying gold in the gold location fun, accessible to tens of thousands of people, and a percentage of everything in the game here can also be donated back to these hard-hit areas. You guys will be earning rewards by doing good. Everything that we're designed to do is to solve a problem. For me, as the president, CEO of the company, if those who are most affected by harmful mining don't benefit more by us removing the physical mining, then we failed. But we have so many different ways. The node technology, the NFTs, all these things are designed to not only benefit you, but they benefit these communities who are being hard hit. Todd from up in Alaska on Gold Rush, he has a soft spot in his heart for the Native Alaskans who are also being taken advantage of, and he wants to stop mining. Now, you might think it's ironic that the world's most famous gold miner wants to be a part of the element community, but he does, because there's so much harm that's been done by gold mining, and he sees the benefit. He sees that now blockchain has created this incentive that can reward people for doing good. And so, guys, owning nodes in the blockchain, in the element blockchain, is doing good. We're solving problems. We're creating new economies around gold. We're helping people who have been hurt by this. And so, guys, mining in a game keeps the elements in the ground. Mining in a game allows access for more people. Mining in a game creates more utility for the element coin. Mining in a game creates opportunities for NFT owners. Mining in a game preserves the environment. Now, some people go, Scott, I'm not a gamer. Last game I played was Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, on my Nintendo NES. And that's the last time I think I played a video game. Doesn't matter. If you're not into games, don't worry about it. If you just want to buy nodes, set it and forget it and let your nodes do the work of verifying transactions and get a daily reward, that's what you do. If you want to buy an NFT and just hold them, awesome. Stake them, earn more element coins by buying NFTs, and hopefully the NFT goes up in value. Of course, we can't promise any of that. But everything that you do in this economy, in this element universe, helps other people. If it doesn't, we have failed. If it's not solving problems, if it's not keeping gold in the ground and helping the environment, we failed. If it's not helping these marginalized communities, we failed. Everything that you do, whether you just go, you know what, even if you were a guy that said, I don't care who it helps, I'm here to help number one, I'm here to help me. Too bad. It's still helping someone despite what you do, because the money comes to us. And we're going to take a percentage of all these funds and we're going to go tie up more gold mines. And we're going to go help these villages. So when I pull a gold mine out of that village, guess what? Guess where the money's going? To send their kids into town, to give them better education, to build water wells, to build hospitals and schools, to teach them sustainable farming techniques that help, increase their yield in their cocoa plants, that helps reclaim all the damage that's been done. We try to remove the mercury. So much will be done in these communities to help, and the element blockchain is going to do that. Now, let's get a little bit selfish here, okay? Now, there is an EVOL. The EVOL I'm going to skip over because now the EVOL is probably the coolest part of element, but I'm going to go through it in 30 seconds, okay? So there are a lot of problems in the supply chain. This is the supply chain of a diamond. The diamond mine to the rough trader, to the diamond cutter, to the diamond trader, to the jewelry, to wholesaler, retail, to the customer. All of these transactions should be done on the blockchain. We're currently building out with Adrian Thane, our EVOL director. He's building out this entire process should be tracked on the blockchain, from proof of origin to proof of ownership to proof of warranty to proof of transfer of title. Every jewelry transaction from the mine all the way to the customer should be tracked on the blockchain, and we are making a strong play to be the provider. Our founder, he's going to NFT one of his wife's engagement ring with Tiffany's, and so we have been talking to jewelry stores all over the world about the utility of this this aspect of what your node will be doing. So some people go, what are these transactions that my node's going to be doing that's going to be earning me the reward? Well, if we do this right, we're going to be verifying tens of thousands of transactions a day. That's the EVOL, okay? The Kimberley process, which shows if your diamond is a blood diamond, we're going to track that as well. We can eliminate the Kimberley process because it can all be done on the blockchain. We can confirm whether your diamond is a blood diamond or a conflict diamond. We can eliminate the Kimberley process on the blockchain. So we see every jewelry store and precious asset dealer to be using the element EVOL to secure and digitize every asset sold. Every time a physical asset is created, a digital asset in the form of an NFT will be created. An associated NFT could be minted on the blockchain with the identification tied to the items, the RFID and all these other serial numbers. So finally, the node. This is why you guys are here. You want nodes, okay? And here's why. The node is what earns you the reward. The node is what's doing the work of the blockchain. The node is why we're able to solve problems. Plugging in your computer, your software download into our blockchain earns you the reward, okay? An element node is a computer server running an element node software. It's a software download. When you buy nodes today, you're going to be issued a software download. Now remember, our nodes aren't live yet. You guys are in pre-sale, okay? And that's the exciting part of it. Our nodes aren't even turned on yet. So remember, everybody's asking me, Scott, this crypto thing, oh, it sucks. Everything's down 80%. Who cares? We don't have a coin yet. Our coin hasn't been released yet. We're still in pre-sale. We hope to enter the market at the absolute bare lowest that the market's ever been, so that we can ride the wave back up, solve some real problems, okay? This software records and verifies new transactions on the blockchain, which is a digital public ledger. The nodes make up the blockchain and do all the essential work of validating transactions. So the element node holders or operators are rewarded every single day with the element rewards. And these can be swapped, traded, used to purchase digital assets in the element ecosystem. We want the reward, or some people call it a coin, We want that to have a lot of different uses, a lot of different utility. We get it. Most people want to just hold it. They just want to save it and hope that someday, it has value on Coinbase, right? That's like the dream everybody hopes for. Okay. They go, oh, hey, look what Gala did. I hope this does what Gala did. Well, so do we all, but we can't promise that. So we want to make sure that that element reward that you get can be used in 10 different ways. One of the exciting ways that we're working on right now is that element token, that element reward that you get from running a node can be exchanged for physical gold. There's a lot of gold that's already been mined. And so why not create a way for you to take your rewards and exchange them for physical gold? We're in the process of figuring out that entire process of how you could do that. Now, do people want to do that? Would you do that? I don't know. Like I said, most people that I've talked to just say, I'm going to hold it. I'm going to hang on to that coin until it has a value. We can't promise it ever will have a value, but that's kind of that's what people who run nodes hope for, right? We hope so too, but there's, again, we can't make any promises that that'll ever happen. So remember, the element node holders or operators are rewarded every day. The one thing we can guarantee you is that you will get a daily distribution. Now, as the value of the element digital reward grows, so does the value of the element nodes, since they are validating all the transactions. Running a node has the potential of being rewarding. Okay, you notice we choose our words carefully. Everybody on this call wants to hear me say, yeah, you're going to get tens of thousands of coins a day, and it's going to be on Coinbase, and it's going to be worth bill. We're not going to say that. We can't say that, even though we know you hope that's what happens, but we don't say that. We just tell you, run your node, you're going to get rewarded every day with element. So the nodes go up in price. This is the important part to know. Today, an element node is $2,500. Okay, $2,500 is what a node costs. Now, in a screen that I skipped by earlier in the presentation, I showed you that today a node for Gala, in fact, I'll pull it up here again. A Gala node is going to cost you about $105,000. A Gala node started at about $2,000. The nodes go up in price. Now, typically, when you buy a node, the next node is sold for $1 higher. We're going to kind of change a little bit about how that works. We're just going to change the price of our nodes frequently. So maybe every week, the node price will go from 2,500, and maybe the next week it'll be 3,000. The week after that, it will be 3,500. The week after, now we're holding off for just a little bit longer. We've kind of been pushing the node price down and keeping it at 2,500 because we're in pre-sale. The second our pre-sale is over, the nodes go up. They're going to go up frequently, probably every week. So this sounds corny. It sounds like a sales pitch. It's not. These nodes are limited and they will sell out, and they will go up in price. They will never be less than what they are today. That's a fact. Check me on it. I challenge you. Try to find anywhere at any time where a node is cheaper than it is today on July 5th, which is 2,500. It will never be, because that's not how they work. The nodes always go up in price. And when they do, when we sell out, when these nodes sell out, we'll convert them to an NFT so that you can resell them. You will never be able to sell your node while we are able to sell our nodes, okay? But we will sell out. Gala is about sold out. They're almost done. Once Gala is sold out, then they create an NFT. You have ownership of that node. You can go and sell it. You go sell it for 100 grand. Go sell it for 200 grand, whatever it is. But they are going to sell out, and we're going to follow that same path. So why do you buy nodes early? Because of the tokenomics. So we're going to issue about 50 billion rewards or tokens. Some people call them tokens, coins. I always use the word reward. We're going to issue about 50 billion. Half of them are going out in year one. Now, when does year one start? Our nodes will probably get turned on and be live. We're telling people end of Q3. It could be earlier than that. But when that node gets turned on, those nodes are split between all eligible nodes. So do some math. Take, 25 billion coins. We might change it, okay? We might say, let's just do 12.5 billion so that our network lasts a little bit longer. But for now, say 25 billion coins are going out in year one. Now, in the beginning, are there going to be a lot of nodes out there? or a few? There's going to be a few. We're issuing 100,000 nodes. Only a few of them will be turned on when we go live, right? Right now, we've sold 2,000 nodes. This is one of the very first presentations we've ever done. Okay, so you guys are hearing about Element for the first time. You're about to hear about Element everywhere you go, social media, online, YouTube, because when we get out of our pre-launch, our marketing starts. Our marketing hasn't started yet. We've started with a few people, this group being one of them. Now, when you turn on your node and that daily distribution comes out, it's divided by the eligible nodes. So if I only have 5,000 or 6,000 nodes in the community, but I have a daily distribution of, tens of millions of nodes or of rewards that have to go out, they're going to be divided between those nodes. The people who buy nodes early and make sure they're live and turned on when we flip the switch are going to get a substantial amount of rewards in the first several months. Okay. I don't know how many because it changes. You have to qualify every single day. Your node has to be turned on 6 hours a day. You have to be doing X, Y, Z. There's not a lot of things you have to do, but you have to earn them. Okay. And so the tokenomics of a node is phenomenal in year one. And that's just the way it is. So right now, green is in the end of year 3. Right now, one green node, because I own multiple green nodes, I'm getting about 700 rewards or green coins a day. Now, in the beginning of those, green nodes were making you, 5 to 12,000 a day in the early days. But as time goes on, your nodes will produce less and less. And that's the way ours will work. Okay. So there's an annual halving. So let's just say 25,000 coins go out in year 1. So next year there's 25 billion left. Half of those will go out. Then the next year, half of those will go out. And so until that's the way Bitcoin works as well. So the punchline is get your nodes turned on and have them turned on early. So there's I'm gonna unshare my screen for just 1 second because I have to make one small change to a slide before I get to it here. Sorry, if I can find my cursor. Yeah, I can't find my mouse, so maybe I won't. Sorry. Okay, but I have to make one quick adjustment here. Sorry. Okay, so I am going to say one last thing here. If the problems in the villages and in these areas aren't solved by Element, then we have failed. Everything has to circle back, okay? The NFT projects that we're building out, the node technology that's being built out, everything that the EVOL. If the problems in these villages are not solved, then we have failed. We always lead with our why. Our why is we see problems that are happening with the environment and with these communities. If those problems can't be solved, then Element has failed. And I love it that you guys are all involved with us, that there's a way for us to work together as a community, just as the whole decentralization, of a blockchain helps solve problems. You can't do it on your own. You have to have a big community. And that's why we're really excited to have you guys on here today and to be able to participate with what we're doing. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to turn the time back over, but I do have one last slide that shows you where to go to get your nodes. And I just need to correct that slide because I typed it in wrong and I don't want to send you to the wrong spot. I think you guys would be pretty ticked if we told you about everything we're doing and then you didn't know how to get to the right spot. So just hang on tight here for 1 second. And Dustin, I'll go ahead and turn the time back over to you while I fix the slide. Is that all right?
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Okay. All right, here we go.
We could probably answer a couple of questions while you do that, I would imagine.
Yeah, I'll answer questions while I update my slide here.
All right.
Anybody excited? Anybody excited about what Scott has shared with you? Let us know in the chat box. We know there's quite a few questions that have come through as well. So we're going to take some time to do a Q&A to make sure that everybody understands everything of what's happening. But just like Scott said, you're here early. You're here extremely early. Okay, I can't even explain to you how early you are right now. And a lot of you are used to the direct selling space or affiliate marketing space and some pre-launch. Okay, that's not what this is. This is extremely different, and we want to make sure that you understand what you have here, what you have your hands on, and why so many key people are excited at the same time. So You guys got questions, go ahead and type them in. And Scott, if there's anybody else that's on here that you want to pull out, because I know one of your partners, I think David is on. If you want to come out, David, feel free.
Yeah, David, jump on here and get in
yeah.
while I fix the slide.
Yeah, anybody
Yeah,
else?
well, hey, I'm just excited to have everyone. Thanks, Cedric and Dustin. Really appreciate you guys putting this on. This is a very exciting opportunity that we're putting together right now.
David, we can't see you. We would love to see you if we can. Are you just on audio?
No, I
You
fixed
should be
it.
able to see me.
I added a spotlight to him.
Okay,
Yeah,
there we are. Okay,
I
good.
can't see
Thanks,
him. Why
Dustin.
can't I see him, Dustin?
I don't know.
Well, I'm not that good looking anyway, so you're probably saving yourself. It's okay.
That's a lie. I always bring David on here because he's the best looking of everybody.
No. But you know what we're doing. Scott and I have been working a lot with these mine owners, and the question we get asked often is, why are mine owners willing to do this? Why will someone take physical gold that they have and digitize it? And it's exactly like what Scott said, which is we're giving them incentive, and they understand that as we grow the Element blockchain, the potential is there for them to make a bigger impact than they could if they actually mine the gold. And I think that's important to understand. Today, I was on the phone with an owner of a smaller mine in Nevada, and he has about, I think it's about $500 million of a gold mine that he wants us to digitize. And he was so excited about this concept because it allows him to really take part in something that just being a gold miner, he can't do at all. It gives more access to more people and can potentially change the lives of many, many more people than if he actually mines it. And it doesn't have the environmental impact, the problems with environment. We haven't even talked about carbon credits yet. But this is a very big project. It's changing the world, and we are excited about it.
Yeah, we can, and again, yeah, you're right, David. We didn't even talk about carbon credits. The carbon credits
There's
that are
so much to talk about.
it is. Honestly, we can go on the NFTs, the carbon credits, the nodes. We can go 2 hours on each one. There's so much. I just wanted to cover the highlights and let you guys know we are making some massive changes in the world, and you guys can all benefit from being a part of that. The tokenomics, the way these nodes work. I mean, we feel like we have a track record. Just to go over a few things, our company has no debt. Even though we're not affiliated with Gala, we're separate companies. We feel like we have a launch pattern to follow. Not only did we, fork their blockchain technology, but we've got the same owner. We've got no debt. We've got a blueprint on how to do this. We've got a stellar team. And so all the things that you want to check on are these guys legitimate? Is there longevity? Dustin's been to our office we love bringing people and showing them our office to say, look, we're not fly by night. There has been so much time, energy, thought, strategy, money put into what we're doing, because we're not trying to do small things. We're trying to do big things and get as many people involved in our community as we can get involved. And we're just excited to have, as many of you join us, as we can. So let
me just add one thing, Scott, is that right now, one of the things that you did mention about the nodes, we want you all to become part of this Element community, this ecosystem, because the more people we have, the stronger and the more robust the whole ecosystem blockchain is. So even if you buy one node or if you buy 50 nodes, it's very important for us to really decentralize the whole platform. So every single person here can really make a commitment and help us reach these goals by being node owners.
Yep. Yeah, you're part of the solution. And that's really because if nodes are a new concept to you, get used to it. You are going to be pitched nodes from everybody, because everybody's out there looking at things that the blockchain can solve, problems that the blockchain can solve. Just be very careful. I'm not making guarantees that we're going to, make anyone rich or do anything. I'm saying we have real problems we're trying to solve. We have real technology. We have real qualified people running this endeavor. We have a track record. Well, financially, we're great. And we're working with 26 mines right now. You know, the funny thing is when we first started calling mine owners talking about this concept, they didn't get it. They're just like, you guys, this is dumb. And now we have people begging us. We have, like I mentioned earlier, David and I have a pretty busy travel schedule. We're meeting with presidents of countries. You guys will see us when we do our press releases and our announcements with heads of state, talking about what we're doing and the problems we're trying to solve. And it's going to be fun. It's a fun thing. And like I said, you guys will hear a lot about Element. And it's just going to be fun to think back on that July 5th day when you heard about Element, 6 months before most of the world knew about us. And, you hopefully had your nodes turned on in the early days and, getting a lot of rewards for it. And as we develop these games and, we mentioned Gala, since Gala has the same common founder and owner as we do, we're in talks with making that game that we're doing launch with Gala. Like how incredible would that be? They've got a huge platform. They were a top 50 coin on Coinbase. To be able to do a joint venture, to be able to have Todd Hoffman, from Gold Rush, the world's most famous miner, involved and loving what we do. We just feel like we've got so much momentum and real big people, big companies are taking note of what we're doing, and just an exciting time. I'm just grateful for you guys because you guys trusted Cedric and Dustin to come on and hear what we're doing, and again, we're so early. We're still refining how we talk about this. We're still in the early stages. Even just our presentation here, it's just, this is like version 1 of it, but we're just really excited that you guys are in early with us, and hopefully you can feel our excitement and join what we're trying to accomplish, because the early adopters, those people willing to take a risk with us are the ones who get rewarded the most. And we love all you guys for taking the time for listening to what we have to do. This problem is so big and the solutions are so incredible. We feel inadequate, even the way that we describe it. And hopefully, you guys can help us, find our voice and really get this message out there. And because it means a lot to us, and we hope it means a lot to you. And again, the reward that's out there for you guys for jumping in early with us, can be really, really great. But more importantly, the impact that we have can be even better. And we hope you join with us.
Hey, Scott, I want to jump in here really, really quickly. There's a couple questions that I want to get answered really quickly, but I want to co-sign on something that you said and something I want everybody to understand here really quickly. Number one, for those of y'all that have been in the crypto space, that might be around in the crypto space, how many projects have you been a part of where the president is actually on a Zoom? Don't worry, I'll wait. How many projects have you been a part of where somebody said that you're going to get paid 2% a day, 5% a day, 762% in the next 16 hours, and the company goes away in a week? That's number one. They're overseas somewhere you don't even know. You're sending a picture of your ID to somebody overseas that runs away with your crypto. Like, I want you to think about this, okay? That's number one. Secondly, there's a 50,000 square foot facility in Utah with hundreds of coders that are coding out this project. Okay, that's the second thing, okay? Thirdly, if you know Dustin and myself, we don't have time to spread things that aren't credible. We get pitched every Ponzi known to man every single day of the week. I can't tell you how many come into my inbox. It is bananas, and they do not pass the acid test. They don't pass the acid test, but I see people promoting them on social media, and it blows my mind because people have this allure of getting rich. And you heard Scott say, they're not promising anything. They're not promising, oh, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. They're walking you through what the potential is. If you say, hey, I want to go see it, you can fly out to Utah and tour.
Come on down.
You can see it. When did you fly to Asia? I'm looking at some of the questions that are on here, and it's funny to me because it's like, when did you fly to Asia to look at the Ponzi? You never did. You trusted that it was good. You trusted it. Y'all see me getting a little excited right now because it blows my mind sometimes because I see people promoting so much stuff, okay? I want you to really, really get this, okay? Secondly, Scott, can you co-sign on something here really quickly? There's a lot of networkers that are on here and a lot of affiliate guys on here. And can you tell everybody here, first of all, why didn't you guys just launch this as some MLM, some affiliate deal? Because there's people that are asking that question. Why we want to get referrals? Can you just address that really, really quickly? Because I know the answer, but I would love if you could just address it really quickly.
You know, we get asked that a lot, you know, because there's even right where we live out here in Utah, it's kind of the hub of all affiliate networkers in the world. Literally outside my window, I'm looking, I can see, this is not an exaggeration, by the way, I can see the headquarters of Young Living. I can see the headquarters of right here, David.
Unique.
What's that?
Unique.
Yeah. Billion dollar companies, you know, and there's so everybody came to us and everybody was like, hey, you know, do this MLM, do this. But you know what? Like, we just didn't want to do that. We just made the decision that, you know, the more access we could give to people all over the world, the more, you know, and David, in fact, let's do this. David owned a company. David owned an MLM company. Okay. He's one of the best networkers on earth. And you know, so in having these conversations with David, should we do this? You know, David has a unique take on it as well. Dave, why don't you jump in and
Well, I think part of the thing with network marketing is you have to have a monthly recurring product that you're charging for, so you can have monthly recurring revenues and commissions being paid. And we really made the decision that, look, we're going to do an upfront, join, and buy the software license, and that's it. This could be swapped and become a network marketing but we just didn't want to do that. We felt like, look, this is a better way to do it. Just have a one-time fee, join, buy the software, run the software, and that way you're in charge of your own destiny, and we're all building this together. Our incentive is the same. Myself, Scott, we're all node holders, and we own nodes. And as the ecosystem grows and builds, we all take part together. We just didn't feel like with this, it was right to have a network marketing structure with some people making more than other people, and having people not have to, having set up their organization and then kind of sit back. We wanted people to be in the same boat together and be able to buy the software where same price for Dustin as it is for Tony or Cedric or John, LaShonda. We're all paying the same price, and we're all able to get in together. So it's very equal. It's really decentralized.
Thank you, brother.
And I have had a lot of networking experience, and I'm happy to talk to anyone about network marketing. I have a lot of experience about it, and been involved with companies where money was falling from the walls, and some of the biggest network marketing companies in the world are owned by very, very close friends and family. So happy to talk about network marketing with anyone. And Scott and I both have had a lot of experience, and there's a lot of conversations that we can have about that, where someone wants help or discussion about that, happy to help. But the key with Element is we wanted it to be direct with everyone, decentralized. People can come in, buy the nodes, get them now. Like Scott said, yeah, they are going to increase in price. We don't need the money. We're not raising money. This isn't something we're doing so we have money. It's so that everyone can jump in, become part of the blockchain. And we're already funded. We've got everything we need. So the money that's being used or that's being taken in from the Element nodes is going right back into the purpose of Element.
One of the things that we pride ourselves on, because the blockchain is open, David and I, with our schedule, we're going to these mines and we're going to make videos showing the impact. We want everybody to understand where their money is going and to see the true impact. Now, with Ghana's a little bit tricky, because remember, when we pull a gold mine out or prevent a gold mine from going there, we want to make sure that the financial benefit is greater by them not mining. When you do that, you kind of make them a target. So one of the questions on here is, can we go see the mines in Ghana? So quick story. When I was filming season 1 in Ghana, the Discovery Channel showed where we were. They drew like a little red dot. The boys are in Akwaboso, right? Well, season 1 was airing in Ghana while we were filming season 2. And so some guys came to try to rob us. They went to the wrong gold mine because they thought we were still there on season 1. They went to rob us. They robbed, it had become a Chinese site. Anyway, they lined them all up, dumped gasoline on them, shot up all their cars with AK-47s and robbed them of 236,000 in gold. We want to protect these villages. When we go in there and create this new economy for these villages, we want to protect them and not make them a target. So we will keep the names and locations of these villages as much as we can out of the public view. We'll go there. We'll take crews. We'll have videos on our YouTube channel of it. But there will be some protections that we give. But we also want to make sure you guys know that we're working a real project. And so one of the things that we've talked about with doing with the element reward is being able to exchange it to come with us. Some people want to see the impact, and we would love to take some of you guys with us, but we will make sure that you do not disclose where these villages are, whether we're in the Amazon or whether we're in Ghana or Sierra Leone or Ivory Coast, some of the other areas that we're planning on going to for the protection of the village. Because again, we're going to be saying there, hey, look how much more financially they've benefited by being a part of the element and by stopping the gold mine. One of the questions that we got was, so element is one of the first to do just this gold digitization. We're not the only one. So we have competitors now, and we like it. We love that this idea has caught on, because when I first heard about it, I said, no, this doesn't work. Now, there have been a couple gold mines that we've called to where we weren't the first people that called them, that there are competitors out there that also called them. And we love that because the proof of concept, we're going, haha, we're on to something. We don't sweat it because we're doing it better than everybody else. We're doing it with better technology, with better funding, with better people, and with a purpose. Some people are out there digitizing gold and attaching the amount of the gold to the coin, like Dignity Gold, right? They're a security. They're a registered security with the SEC. Big deal. Why not just go buy physical gold? Why not just go buy gold certificates? There's no difference. We believe that the element reward can outpace and out exceed the actual gold in the ground. That's our own personal belief. We're not making any promises, but because of our purpose and because of our why, and because we don't want the gold to ever be pulled out of the ground, there's no redemption value. So why attach the actual amount of gold to the coin when we don't ever want to go dig it up. We're creating a new economy that represent a new digital value around that gold. Now, will Element own gold mines? Yeah. Will people see value in that? Will people go, hey, well, maybe these coins are worth more because this is a company that actually owns gold mines? And if people see that and want to give us a value what we do higher, then great, because we will own gold mines. We will have gold pledged to us, and all those things we think could make people on the secondary market go, oh, hey, look, Element's great, because we have no control over that, right? All we can do is have a purpose, a vision, and yes, we will have assets on our books, a lot of it. Well, we will own a lot of gold, and so all those things. Yes, we have competitors, but kind of. Nobody does what we do. And yes, there will be opportunities for others to come on and go to these places with us to actually see gold mines. And that's kind of the proof, right? We want someone who's got 10 nodes, who loves what we do and says, I've been to these villages. What these guys are doing is fantastic. Couldn't be prouder. Best money I ever spent, right? Because it has impact. That's what we hope. And we want to make sure that everybody knows the good that we're doing, and we're going to broadcast it, but we will protect the communities that we're benefiting.